Hey everybody, this is Jake with PackMan Sports with a really quick video that I want to turn your attention to, and this is an article written by Bruce Irons of CheeseheadTV. I will leave a link in the description so you can go and check out the article so you can read it for its entirety, but there are some things that I want to touch up on here to bring home a point. And this article written by Bruce Irons on CheeseheadTV is entitled "The Packers Receiving Corps is Going to Be Just Fine." This is something that I really want to bring some attention to, is because I share the sentiment from Bruce is that the Packers receiving corps is going to be just fine. This is something that I have brought up in the past, but I really want to hit this thing home because the Packers continue to take all kinds of heat and all kinds of things from the mainstream media, explaining that the Packers just haven't given Aaron Rodgers enough weapons. He has no one to throw to. This article here is going to point out some of the things that the people in the mainstream media will not tell you, and this is something for Packer fans to reassure the fan base that things are going to be just fine with the Packers receiving corps. All of this talk about the Packers needing a true number one wide receiver, getting a veteran free agent, is something that is constantly being talked about over and over and over and over again. So I want to get to the first point here. I'll read just a little bit and then get to some other main points so that way I can highlight a few things that are pretty relevant. And those are some players, and then the ending of it here I'll get to. So there is a ludicrous amount of negative talk around the Green Bay Packers wide receivers, and it's completely misguided. This group of receivers is going to be just fine. First, there's Randall Cobb. Yes, he's past his prime. At the same time, he's a shifty receiver who has a unique connection with the quarterback, and that should not be undervalued. He has also showed he can still produce. In his last game of the season, he put up nearly 100 yards in the first half before leaving the game with an injury, and that was against a Super Bowl champion defense. Then there's Allen Lazard. For some reason, there's still a lot of people who still don't think highly of him. I don't know why. He took on a role as a full-time starter last year and made the most of his opportunities, scoring a touchdown in 1 of every 5 of his catches. He's a big-bodied target with a great catch radius and is hard to bring down. Then this goes on to talk about Sammy, and then this goes on to talk about Christian Watson. This, you can read about this yourselves. I've talked about Christian. Romeo, I've talked about Romeo. You can read about this later. And then there's the forgotten man, Amari Rodgers. Yes, his rookie season can accurately be described as abysmal, but there is a reason the Packers traded up on day 2 to get him last year. At 5'9", 212, he's built like a bowling ball, presenting a different kind of challenge for defenses. History is littered with successful receivers who had rough rookie outings. There's no reason he can't bounce back to become the receiver the Packers hoped he'd be when they drafted him. Look at it as a group, and what do you see? A rare combination of youth and experience, a group of physically diverse pass catchers that have unique strengths. The Packers have a half a dozen receivers with a legitimate chance to make an impact. Do I think they'll all reach their potential? No, but they don't have to. People get caught up in fantasy stats and miss the fact that a successful NFL passing attack needs weapon diversity more than pinball numbers. Each of the 6 receivers on the depth chart, it says depth charge, probably depth chart, Cobb, Lazard, Watkins, Watson, Dobbs, Rodgers have completely different style of play. The Packers can work with that, depending on what the kind of defense they're playing, what the weather conditions are, and a number of other factors. Each of them could potentially be the leading receiver. That's just another great part of having a coach like Matt LaFleur and a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers. They can have a different number 1 receiver each week. This is not an offense that needs a stud receiver to funnel the passing game through. We tried that, it didn't work. This is an offense that needs role players with the complementary skills to do their job, and that is exactly what the Packers have. And I agree with just about everything here that has been written about this. I just want to be able to say this. The Packers, yes, they can add another pass catcher possibly down the line, but right now, as things stand, the Packers receiving core is going to be just fine. And with that, I'll catch you guys later for another video. Go Pack, go. Hey, thanks for making it all the way to the end of this video. It is much appreciated. Be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing to PackMan Sports if you have not for more Packer content.